Hey everybody, it's Suzanne Orlando here with a live video. And if you saw my post today, if you didn't go back and see it, it's underneath all of this probably. But today I am talking to you guys about something that comes up often, and I just had a conversation on one of my free discovery calls where this topic was at the forefront of the conversation. And before I dive into it, one of the awesome things, one of the main things that I love about people who reach out to me and schedule these free discovery, or what I like to call clarity call sessions, is no matter what happens after the call, we always tackle shit that they're struggling with so that they can get clear on how to move forward, regardless of if it's with me or independently or whatever. So that's what I love. And this very topic came up. And what I'm talking to you guys about today, why I felt so compelled to come on here, was the idea between making a choice versus accepting what is. And I'm going to dive a little bit deeper into this. But before I go into there, the problem that, specifically this person had that was on this discovery call with me was they are at a place in their life where they want to pivot and they want to start going down a different path. They want to start doing things that feel good to them. But the problem that they have run into historically is that they have made, what I got clear with them on, they have made a choice, whether they realized it or not, that many of us do in our lives. Because when you have something in your mind that you want to do, or you feel a fire that you want to do, most of the time we already make a choice about whether we're going to do that or not, even if we're not aware of it. So the problem is, if you find yourself having this inner dialogue, I don't have the time to fill in the blank. It's really too hard to start something new. It's really too hard to take steps towards doing X, Y, and Z. I'm really too old. I'm not young anymore. I don't have the energy I once had. That's something that people do when they're younger and they have time and energy and effort to put into it. I'm too old to start something new. Or I'm not deserving. This is my favorite one, and one of the things that this particular person was struggling with. I already have done everything in my life that I told myself I would do. I've already done everything in my life that was expected of me or that I'm supposed to do. I already have so much. So I don't know if I deserve to step into a space where I want to give myself more, because what are other people going to think of me? So do you hear that? So the problem is when I'm making, these are choices that I'm making. I'm choosing to halt myself because I don't have the time. I'm choosing to not step into a different place because it feels like it would be too hard. I don't know if it would be, but I'm choosing to not do it because it feels like it would be too hard. It would be like a lot of work. I'm really too old to make these gradual changes in my life, because what is that going to be like for other people in my life? How is that going to impact other people in my life, even though it's something that I feel like I want to do? And I don't deserve to do this. So when I set myself up and I tell myself these things, and I have this inner dialogue, which we all have, and I guarantee somebody who's listening to this video right now has this very, very struggle, if not all of these struggles, right? You're setting the stage to remain complacent with where you are. You're already choosing to not move forward. You're already making that decision that this isn't for you, even though you have this burning desire. So you remain in a place of complacency, and you constantly tell yourself, I wish I could do this. I wish I could. I wish I could. I wish I could. And what happens when we do that is, because we've made that choice within ourselves, when we see other people doing shit, when we see other people who seem to have that thing that we've told ourselves we don't have time for, it's too hard, I'm too old, I'm not deserving, what happens? We start to build up this crazy amount of negative energy that oftentimes feels like resentment. It oftentimes feels like judgment. It oftentimes feels like, creating stories as to why they can and you can't. And that in and of itself becomes really toxic to us, right? So that's the problem about making a choice. When I've made a choice and already told myself that it's not going to work out for me, this festering of resentment, of darkness, of sticky, muddy gunk happens within us, and it doesn't do anything to benefit us. But the difference is, if we're able to accept all of the things that I talked about, right? If we're able to accept the fact, okay, I don't have time right now, but what can I do to create more time? Because I really want to do this thing, whatever that is. It's really going to be difficult to shift my sales. It's really going to be difficult to start something new, but I can see the end result of that, and I see people who have been doing that, and I hear and I feel like this has been something that I've been desiring so long, because although it's going to be hard, I'm willing to put in the work because I know the result will be worth it. So maybe I'm too old, but you know what? I'm not dead yet. I still have many years ahead of me. And don't I want to continue to live my life the way that I want to live it versus the way that I was supposed to live it, versus the expectations that others may have had for me or society had for me? It's time that I start living my life the way that I want to live it. And even though I have everything that I've set out to earn in my life, and people look at me as this person who has everything, I still deserve to live a life that I'm proud of and that I want to live, and that I deserve to go on these adventures. I deserve to take these next steps, right? So do you hear the difference now between making a choice and accepting what it is? It's going to be hard. I'm going to have to shift my schedule. I'm going to have to create more time. I'm going to have to accept that, yes, I'm not in my 20s anymore. I'm not young. I don't necessarily have the energy I do, but I'm also not dead yet. So I accept where I am in life and that I still can do more. And I'm accepting of the fact that whereas I've built a foundation and I have all of these things in my life, in my world, I still deserve to have a life and to live a life and to do things that feel good to me. So do you see the difference from that example, guys? What are you doing? Are you choosing to are you making a choice that's completely going to pull you into that place of low energy, of toxicity, of resentment, because all of these other things that you haven't even tried yet just don't fit in? Or are you accepting that, yeah, this shit's gonna be hard. Yeah, it's not gonna be easy. Yeah, I'm gonna have to make sacrifices, but you know what? It's going to be worth it, because on the other end, I'm gonna feel freaking awesome. Think about all the shit that you had to sacrifice to get to where you are now. Nobody just floats through life. Nobody floats, and things aren't easy. Things don't come easy to those of us who have what we wanted to have all those years ago. We had to get gunky. We had to get in the mud. We had to make sacrifices to get to where we are now. So why can't you do that for the shit that you've longed to do all along, right? The same exact thing. So think about this dialogue, right? So again, this is what I love. This is kind of what happened with my discovery call towards the end. And this is not the specific example, but this is just a general example. So I don't, thinking about it like this is the choice language. I don't feel worthy because I don't feel, I'm using an example, just pretend, I wanted to get it certified to be a yoga teacher because maybe I love yoga. Maybe I love going to yoga classes. Maybe I find that since I've been taking yoga classes for the last 10 years, that it really has enabled me to connect with an inner energy that I never felt before. And maybe I want to continue to understand how to teach yoga to others in hopes that there might be other people out there who could benefit from my knowledge. But you know what? I don't feel worthy because I don't have time to take yoga classes to learn how to be an instructor. It's really hard. It's going to be hard to learn all that process and all that technique. I'm in my 40s. It's like, what am I really going to do with that? Am I going to be a yoga instructor for the next 20 years? Like, how is that going to benefit me? And I already have so much. I already know yoga. Like, I don't know that I'm deserving and worthy of that. So I'm making a choice to not follow through with being a yoga instructor because I've told myself this bullshit story that I don't deserve to. I don't have time to. I've made that choice already. Instead, listen to this language. I deserve to create time for myself. to get certified to teach yoga so that I can finally inspire others to share the passion. And I'm going to invest in myself. I'm going to reach out to somebody who knows how to instruct me to do this, and I'm going to learn to do this because it is worth it. Do you see the difference in my language there versus how I'm choosing versus accepting? I'm accepting that this shit is going to be difficult. I'm accepting that I have to make this shift in my world, and I'm accepting that I'm going to have to make some damn sacrifices, but I'm choosing to do that because I want to invest in myself. I understand that I probably can't do this on my own, that I have to invest my time and my effort and my energy into somebody who can show me how to do this. So not to go off on that tangent, but that's the example, guys. So the next time you're faced with something, when you're sitting in that place and you're like, oh, I want to do X, Y, and Z. I want to do this. This person does this, and I'm so envious of them. Are you choosing and setting yourself up to not even be able to try to get forward and move forward with it? Or are you accepting the fact that it's going to be difficult, it's going to be hard, I'm going to have to make sacrifices, I'm going to have to invest in this, but at the end of the day, it is so worth it? I would rather accept the hard and the difficult than choose to not move forward, because that choice is going to lead me down a road of resentment, it's going to lead me down a road of regret, and it's going to leave me in a place that feels sticky and muddy and gunky and shitty. And I don't want to feel that way. I want to accept it for what it is, and I want to move towards it. So that's all I have for you guys today. Again, if you want to get on a free discovery call with me, definitely do that. It's a free discovery call. You choose it on your own schedule. Pick what works for you, and let's figure this shit out, because like the person I chatted with earlier, it's all about taking steps, figuring out what's going to work for you and how you can move forward and how you can start to accept where you need to go to next. All right, guys, talk soon. Bye.